I was a senior in high school.
Okay, you guys should have known better than to do something to result in her sharing.
There was a lot of it going around. Dale Huffman had it.
Rosemary graduated from Munich High School, then chose a nursing career, took her training at Mercy Hospital, joined the cadets in her second year. One of Rosemary's classmates was a gal named Pauline Steffen. She and Rosemary became good friends, which must have been God's plan. At a Steffen family picnic, Pauline introduced Rosemary to her brother Pete. Now we all know where that summer meeting eventually would lead. We've heard some courtship stories, which we think are rather funny. See if you can answer these questions about Rosemary and her honey. Who were the two enterprising young men who sneaked up on Rosemary and Pete and let the air out of their car tires as they sat parked out on the street? Any guesses?
Yep.
There's a clue.
I have nothing to do with it.
Gerald. Sounds like something Mike would do, but I'm sure he wasn't there yet.
Then we have to say Roman.
And somebody else, you'll be surprised when she tells you who was with them.
Okay, Frank Steffen.
Frank Steffen.
Frank Steffen. I would have never guessed him. Frank Steffen. Frank and who? Was it Dad? And Dad?
From what event were Rosemary and Pete? From what event were Rosemary and Pete on their way home from when they got stuck in their car overnight in a snowstorm?
Did they care?
They came to my capping.
That's right. Mary Francis's nursing capping in Valley City. One day, hopefully it wasn't as cold as it is right now. I can't imagine staying overnight in a car. One day, Pete was en route to Munich with Rosemary and a passenger in the back seat. When the urge to give Rosemary a hug suddenly overcame Pete, he took his hand from the wheel and asked the passenger to take over. It was the one time in his life Pete didn't mind having a backseat driver. Who was the backseat driver who is present?
That I don't know. You don't?
And I have plenty of room to reach over to the screen. Pete denies that one.
Pete eventually popped the question, asking Rosemary, "Will you be mine?" This happy couple was married on June 20th, 1949. A honeymoon to Munich Lake in Minnesota they took, no, not Munich, Minch Lake. In Minnesota they took. When they went fishing, it was Rosemary's job to bait the hook. Why did Rosemary bait the hooks? Number one, so they'd have a good honeymoon story for their children and grandchildren. Number two, they had a deal. Rosemary would bait the hooks and Pete would clean the fish. Number three, Pete thought the bait was ishy, squishy, slimy, grimy, and totally disgusting.
I would say number two.
She said she had a bait.
Number three.
Yeah, that's number three. You really didn't want to handle that bait. Later, Sister Claire gave Rosemary this advice. You're a married lady now. Wear a dress so you'll look nice. Sometime later, Rosemary was overheard to mention, "I wish Claire would visit. I could stop wearing dresses then." They shared their first home with Catherine and Conrad, Pete's brother, but soon they outgrew it and moved to another. The kids kept coming till finally there were 10. They needed more room, built a house, and moved again. Sundays were for visiting relatives. Imagine, if you can, traveling with 10 kids, no station wagon or van. Mom would keep us occupied. No car seats either. Mom would keep us occupied with games or singing songs, making it more fun so the trip wouldn't seem so long. But we still would tire and impatience would show. Are we almost there? She's touching me, and Mom, I gotta go. Rosemary had a habit she carried with her all day long. She would tend, when she was happy, just to break out in song. Whether working in the garden, baking bread, or fixing plumbing, you could tell where she was by just listening for her humming. Love of singing and music is something Rosemary taught us, then passed on her humming habit to all of her daughters. Family is important to Rosemary, and she likes to keep in touch with all her brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, in-laws, outlaws, and such. Her children with their spouses added grandchildren to the mix. Now, with great-grandchildren coming, keeping track is quite the trick. How many grandchildren does Rosemary have?
Oh, yeah, make us do math here.
No choices, this one's not
No, there's no choices on this one.
Quite a few?
Is it more than 20, more than 30, more than 40?
Okay, I would say it's more than 30.
More
than 30. More than 30.
More than 30, less than?
32, plus there are 6 spouses with that now. How many great-grandchildren?
Aren't they all great?
They are.
She has 6 or 7? No, 8. He's got 3.
9!
Is it 6?
There you go. Did you just do math really quick in your head? Gosh, yes, 14. When traveling on the road between Grand Forks and Devil's Lake, wasn't it nice to stop at Pete and Rosemary's house to take a little break? Often the aroma of freshly baked bread would greet you at the door, meaning Rosemary had been baking, so let your belt out a notch or more. Now John and Brenda's family carry on this fine tradition, still welcoming travelers who are passing by Michigan. What is the most important reason for stopping at the Steffen farm? Number 1, to use the bathroom facilities. Yep. Number 2, to hear the latest gossip and a fish story. Yep. Or number 3, you don't need a reason to stop, it's just fun to see them.
Number 3?
Number 3. That's kind of your choice. One is right.
Oh, I see.
By the way, we have to show the picture of the bar with the quilt.
Yeah.
So, find that.
We've come to the end of the test at last. You'll be happy to know that everyone passed, but you're going to get cake. With December 10th coming closer, excitement is mounting because Rosemary's almost 90, but then who's counting?
It's Sarah.
This trip down memory lane has been a lot of fun to take. Now let's sing happy birthday to Rosemary so we can eat some birthday cake.
Happy
Birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday.